Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much, everyone, for welcoming us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to us. I'm so pleased to be back in Liberia. As we said, my two colleagues here, this is their first time on the African continent, their first time in Liberia, they're having the time of their lives. But I have had the privilege to have come here before. You see, I'm part of an organization called IdeasForUs. And we're an environmental action organization. We do work in 32 different countries around the world. And in 2014, I traveled to Liberia to do a series of action projects. But what's amazing about our story is that we didn't start out as an NGO. We didn't start out with funding for projects. We didn't start out with paid staff. We were entirely volunteer. Back when I was 23 years old, a group of college students came together, meeting in their dorm rooms to try to imagine a better United States. You see, we have a lot of problems in the United States. People go to bed hungry. Not everyone has access to electricity and running water. Still, people are undereducated, and education is expensive. Also, the way in which we produce energy, by burning coal, by burning oil, by burning wood, is not sustainable. We cut down our forests, we think only short term, and then they're gone. We actually share a lot of similar problems. But we didn't want to wait for our government to come solve it. We didn't want to wait for foreigners to come and help. We wanted to do it ourselves as young people. So even though we had no money and didn't know what would happen, we knew that we are better when we work together. So we created a club. And that little club has grown over the last 14 years to bring myself and my colleagues around the world and here to Liberia. And you may ask yourselves, well, why? Why have these Americans come here today? Well, believe it or not, our whole point in being here is to just listen. Listen to Liberians. We have been in 7 counties in 7 days. This is our final day. We have been on an amazing journey across this beautiful country. I just want to say thank you to the kindness and generosity that Liberians have shown us. So please clap. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So why do we want to listen to what you have to say? Well, that's how we learn. And whenever you go to solve a problem, you start by learning about it and talking about it and thinking about solutions with the people in your community. Really, I have been around the world. I am fortunate to be very educated. I read a lot. I teach myself things constantly. And I have found no better way to solve problems than to work together and to see that all of us have something to bring to the table to create a solution. So that's what we're going to do today. There are people here of multiple religious faiths in this room. I just want to take a moment and thank you all for your tolerance in being here. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to your neighbors. So let's just clap for that if you please. Now, this event is not going to be just us talking to you. We're here to have a conversation. That's how you make friends. Our intention this whole time has been to make friends with many different Liberians. We want to hear about the struggles that women face. We want to hear about the struggles that children face. We want to hear about the struggles that elders face, and everyday people as well. Only then can we come up with a course of action to be able to help. But here's the catch. Even if I were to come from the United States with a bag of money up to the ceiling and hand it out, what happens when that money's gone? You're no better than you were before. We want to help to transform the way in which you approach solutions and action. If we can do that, you can change the course of your country because it's you taking action and doing the work. Liberians don't need anyone but young Liberians and old Liberians and families and everyone from across the country to work together to solve these problems. We believe in you, and we want you to believe in yourselves. That's tremendously important. So thank you for welcoming us. What we're going to do now is we're going to sit back down here, and we're going to share the microphone. Anyone who wants to come up and share, what are the struggles you're facing? But I need you to also share what you think a solution would be. Here's an example. If you come up and say, we need vocational training, we need more jobs, we want to hear what kind of jobs you want. Because then we can think about how can we best equip those vocational schools? How can we place them in the right areas so they're not difficult for you to get to? And what kind of resources can we bring from the United States to make those schools as good as they possibly can be? Sound good? Yes. Wonderful. So, that was just an example, but you can mention anything. My last request, and I beg of you, please, is that if someone says something that you disagree with, do not boo them, do not holler at them, do not laugh at them. We have to be tolerant. We all know what happens if we're not. It's important for us to listen to one another. So that I ask you, it's a true honor for me to be here. Thank you so much.